Hello, my name's Dan Tyndall, the Vicar of St Mary Redcliffe, and welcome to the latest video newsletter on our major facilities development project called Project 450, named after the 450th anniversary of the visit of Queen Elizabeth I to Bristol, which will occur in 2024. We're now at the point of our major project whereby we're hoping to get and planning to get to a level of detail on our facilities plan which is equated to what's called RIBA Level 3. RIBA is the Royal Institute of British Architecture, and they have levels of development for these projects. And Level 3 will give us a point where we have a plan in place which can go out to formal consultation to the church authorities and the local city authorities and to national church authorities, as well as other people, civic institutions and statutory stakeholders like English Heritage. We're hoping to have that in about the next 4 or 5 months, and that will be a major point in the project as it unfolds. And as part of that, we've been it's been great to be supported by a national church institution called the Cathedrals Project Support Panel. And indeed, you will notice this is called the Cathedrals Project Support Panel, and St Mary Redcliffe is not a cathedral, but because of the scope and ambition of this project and the complexity of it, this has now been recognised by the National Church of England officers through the Church Buildings Council, that they've put us in touch with their colleagues, the Cathedral Project Support Panel, and we've been invited to be part of that project because of the nature and scope of what we're trying to do. So we had a meeting here with a couple of architects and a partner from a firm that delivers major infrastructure projects, as well as an officer from the Cathedral Project Support Panel, and we had a 2 or 3 hour kind of workshop really looking at it in detail at all the plans and proposals that we were putting together. And their responses to us were very favourable, very encouraging. And of course there were some critical points made. Of course you'd expect that, and we'll be taking those on board as we move forward. But it was really helpful, really encouraging to get that positive affirmation that things are continuing to move in the right direction with this major development project. As part of alongside the facilities project, of course, we've been continuing to look at the other things we need in place to make sure that once this project is built out, we can make it work really well and to enable us to be sustainable in its operation and a sustainable organisation. So we've had a business plan commissioned, and that's now in its last iteration. That's just been published. And that shows how we should be developing our business over a 6 phases of unfoldingness. Not a very good word, but you know what I mean. Over 6 phases, over 7 years. So there's 6 phases of development over 7 years. And the plan suggests that our visitor numbers should rise from about 45,000 a year to about 145,000 a year. And we're starting that this summer with the implementation of some contactless payment points, as well as to take cash donations as well. We all know and recognise that many people are moving towards a cashless society, and the ability to take donations from people over contactless payment cards will be part of our business development plan. But the first real phase of that is looking at employing 2 members of staff, new members of staff, new posts, a visitor services officer and a volunteer management post. Those are 2 new posts that we want to have in post by this time next year. And in order to facilitate that, we will be putting in a bid to the National Lottery Heritage Fund, which is the new name for the Heritage Lottery Fund. And we're beginning to work up that application, which should be in this side of the summer, and we should hear in the autumn as to whether we're successful of that, so that we can begin to put in place the next phase of the business plan at the same time as we're going out to consultation on the building plan as well. There'll be lots more information coming out on the website, the documents will be there, and when it comes to consultation, we will be there with you to ensure that all comments are heard and listened to and responded to as much as we can, so that when we do this development around this extraordinary church and make ourselves fit for the 21st century, your comments will be heard and will be taken into consideration. Please do keep watching this space for further updates as we move forward with Project 450. Thank you very much.